So hi everybody and welcome back. This is a full game tutorial for absolute beginners. This is video 9, and in this video we continue with our planning. We are almost finished, and then we will start with our project, which means we start to create the assets and so on, the programming part. But before that, don't forget to join here this epic mega gem, because this is intended for starters and it is a very good motivation. Here it starts here on the 26th, I think, or so, and you can just go here to HIO on this page here, and then you can click here this epic mega jam 2022, and then it pops up here this site. Click here join, and then you will be registered, and you can see we have here around 12 days, and here are already 700 almost, and you should join too. And then you have and then you can build in 7 days, which is really less time, a game. But we are creating a game in this tutorial in 2 weeks, which means I use now this 12 days here because I already started, and in 12 days I won't be finished with this game here what I make. And I hope you create one too. It must be not the same. You can go a little bit more complicated. Like I said, you can watch on YouTube some other tutorials where they explain all the steps for any game, and then you can make one of these games. In one of my videos before, I explained what you can do there, but in this video we need continue with our planning. And I stopped here. That was my high level plan. Why I call this high level plan? Because it is just showing what I'm doing without details. You can see, and now I just show here on this page, and I say, okay, I create just a main menu, which means this is my start point. Create a main menu, then I create a gameplay. This gameplay needs a quit, and I have defined goals a little bit. Just don't die, and get high score. But now, after you have this high level plan, then you can go, if you want, to a little bit more detailed plan, which means in this case you would copy, for example, select this one, copy this one out. I already copied here, and then put it in another place. For example, this. By the way, of course, you can use a professional software, not like this one I use here. This is just a randomly created version, which means I use it just because I don't need to plan normally much. This is more or less for me an overview, because I already know my steps more or less. But to make it more clear, you can do something like that, and then you can of course plan a little bit more with time, and depends if you have friends, then you can do this also with friends, say what they should do. So, and like I said in my last video, I will use this Scrum management system, which is just for little projects, very nice and very simple. I showed you the Scrum system is like this. You make here an arrow, and this here you have your list of tasks. Here you have your time, and here you check. At this point you check if this what you did is good. If it's good, then it is finished. Finished. And if it's not good, bam, it gets here in the loop, which means you get again time, and you should rework it till you are satisfied and it gets finished. This is what we need. And right now what I'm going to do is, from this high level view, I pick now one up and I create a list now. So I'm creating this list, and I'm concentrating now right now on this one level here. So which means that's nice. I create this list here, the start point here, and then I can, when I finish this one here, I can already start, but of course you can also try to create all other things. That's up to you. In my case, I concentrate now on this one list, and I make it not too complicated. And one more thing here, this list, when I said we make here, for example, a list what we are going to do, this must be, and most time isn't full complete. What I mean with complete is we are starters, right? We don't know what exactly what we will do. So you have just to concentrate first on the things which you know, which are the core elements. And if you don't know that, you will later see what you need. And that's why it's called development, right? We are doing some parts and see what we can change or what we can add, but careful, don't add at start this creative components, which means just concentrate on adding only really necessary core concepts. And later, like I said, if you are finished with the core system, then you can say, okay, now it's the time to add the core, the creative features if we have time, but if not, then not. So let's get into it. Let's make a list. In my case, I make a very super simple list, which means here in this list, I just define task. Must be not absolute perfect. Make it like a brainstorming. You throw in ideas and try to realize them. Right. So for my start point, this is my start point because the start point, when I open up the game, it should pop up a main menu where the player can select something like that. But before we can select at all, we need a game mode. So we have to set up a game mode. All right. Then I need a map. I know we have to save a map. This one I know already. That's why I write this in. Then I need project settings. The project settings is after you created a game mode and map, then you go to the project settings and can set this maps and mods, this maps and mods, this start mode. And careful, this game mode is not so easy like it should. We will make a very easy one, but this game mode, you know, contains normally about many parts. And in my setup, I will not set all parts, just because I make a very simple game. I will skip many parts, let's say so. And then, with that said, that looks already good. Let's continue what I need more. I need a little bit more. So then I need, after I set this one up, a widget. Yes, main menu widget. This is the title, by the way, but here, main menu widget. Main menu. Okay, let's write the widget here, because that is what I want create. And of course, this one is a bigger task again. This main menu widget could be bigger. This game menu is bigger. This map and project settings, they are not so big. You see, we have here big parts and little parts. But like I said, later you can select which you want to do, and then you do this. Normally try to make this in order. You don't have to, but if you have this in order, then they are matching. What I mean with matching is, if you create here, for example, the game mode, the map, then you can create this project settings normally, or you can at least set this maps and mod system there. And then you can, after that, set also this one here. So they have an order, but you don't have to. But normally it's a good way to have this. And if you don't have it, it's also not that wild. Later you can add it at the same place where you want. So I'm already finished almost. I think we have here main menu widget, and then we add this to our viewport, and that's it. So I think that's it. With other words, it must be not too detailed. Like I said, this list here must be not full, must be not complete. This should be still a guideline, what you need, and then you see if you have to do here more or not less. So I stop here. That's already my plan, my list for this start point. This is my first, and that's enough. Perfect. Here, I'm finished. And now, with this list, I can start. That's it. that's my planning. And like I said here, the Scrum system means just look, this is the list. Then we have here these things. Now you can try to define here what you want to do here in the list, because this one is our list place. This is the start place, my list. Okay, now you can say, this widget will take a little bit more time, so that let's make this a little bit later. Game mode take normally more time, but I make a very basic, so I make that start. Map is nothing, I just save a map, so this takes no time. And project settings, I would say, takes also no time. All right, which means then you select which one you want. For example, you say I need just this. These three are very easy. Let's make this free here. This widget, let's make it separately. And let's try to make this one finish. So I selected, for example, this free here. Then you try this one to finish. After this is finished, then we will create our widget. Something like that. So very simple, not complicated. You don't have to use even a planning for this kind, what I make, because it's very simple. But if your project gets more and more complicated, you definitely will need a plan. And of course, you will also use a let's say a more professional tool, because there are planning professional tools. The problem with these professional tools is they are most time also too complicated. That's the negative side. I mean, for my purpose, it's too complicated to use a professional tool, because you have to set up many things there and so. I think that's enough for me, because I can start right now with this little plan here, what I have. Okay, I go to start actually here. This is the thing what I wanted to create. You can see this is the thing what they did. And by the way, this program what you see here, this is called Endless Runner Creator, which means this is a template, so a thing which you can use, like all the sample examples from Epic as well. I showed you there this vehicle, this shooter game Lyra. It is also a template which you can use and build on it, right? Which means you add your stuff on it and then you can release it. So which means you don't have to create all from scratch, and that is nice for general rules, also when you make your own game. But if you are joining this Epic Mega Jam, there you should read the rules what they have. They have other rules sometimes, but think about it if you make it or not, if you have time. So in our case, we use normally all that what we can get. So as a starter, I would recommend you, though, if you can do it from scratch, if you have time, do it, but normally not. Normally you will not have time. Normally you can't do all from scratch. So use free assets, try to integrate them. That takes also time. Don't underestimate this time, because many think, okay, we have free assets, we can just copy in and that's it. That's not it. There are free asset templates. They still need really work to integrate into your project, and that takes also much time. So, but still better than making from scratch. So with that said, I will probably later just copy here something, because I'm honest here, this one here, I'm not a very good designer. Let me pause this one, and I will probably copy this icon here, this heart here, this symbol here, because I could make them. If I have time, I could make them. That's not the problem. But I will just copy them here, because it's Epic license anyway, so I can use them. And this is made for use. You see, I said this is a creator runner game, which means you should build on it. Yes, I built on it. And the same goes for Lyra game, like I said before. Okay, enough talk. Let's go to my where's my plan? My super plan. You can see it. Here's my super plan. And it says here, create a game mode. First of all, I have to open up my game. Here is my game, and I create a game mode. So this one, I showed you also, I use here two projects. One is where I test, where I develop all things, but I will not use this as a final, because here I tested and do also test codes and other things in it. And my final product, I will migrate from here to the other project. So in my final project, I have literally only that what I will ship. No plugins. You should kick out all unused plugins. You should, yes, it should be empty and only contain that what you really use after you are finished. And that's why I use this one and migrate all the codes. So let's start with the game mode. How we create game mode. Normally we start not with a game mode. Normally we would go here to the content. It's empty. And then you create here a folder. Yes, I created this game folder. And here I created already test coding that was not from this project. That was anything else. And here I created already things, a game mode folder, we need a game mode, and then a level folder because I want to save the level. And before that, I have to create a new level. Yes. Here we can go here to this new level. Great. So now I'm new level because this is, I think I have already created a level. Let's see. I have here already 3 levels, which means that's very bad. Test for Git, test for whatever, and main menu. I go here and call this is my new level, main menu, and then save as main menu. So you go here down, save current level as, and then you go to level and save it. Here I already saved it as a main menu. That's wrong, I think, because I don't have a main menu map. I mean, I have not a separate map. Let's make a new map. Let's save this one. Map, game map. Perhaps I use only one map. Game map. Game map game. I think I did this. Was on another project probably. But anyway, now I save it. And you can see now I have another map. And here my source control is on, but I will not use every time source control. I use it later when I have already created some steps. And this was map, and now I make the game mode. Normally I want to start with game mode, so the order is not all time important because if you know what you do. So here I needed this level. I have this level. This one I will migrate to my other project later, but I need a game mode. So you create a folder game mode. Here is a game mode which I have also created. Alright, then you create, right click on it, blueprint class, then you go here to the game mode base here. You click on this one, and then you create this game mode base. I have already created it and call it game mode base, and that's it. Let's delete this one and let's see what I have here. And in my game mode base, I have already also something. All right. But this was also only test code. You can see there is nothing. That was just test code. This is what you do later in the step. Let's delete this. So this is an empty game mode. So my second part I have created here, let's say this is my second thing. So I have created the level, I created the game mode, and then you can go to your plan. Okay, I have game mode, map, and then project settings. So what you do then normally is you go to the project settings. Here one more thing, you can go here to the world settings, and when you have game mode, normally what I said, a game mode is here not finished. Normally why I say that, because we have created here the game mode, but this is just a game mode. The game mode has also this subset selected game mode and all the settings here. So normally you would set later perhaps a default pawn, a hard player controller, all this kind of stuff. I will skip most of them. At start I skip anyway all, but later perhaps I have to set up one of them or two of them. And if you make an at-once game, probably you have to set up here much more. But in my case, I finish at start. So let's go on. My plan is very super simple, you see. Okay, I can go now to the project settings because I have to set the maps and mobs. Okay, this maps and mobs, we go here to edit, we go to project settings. Here I said we talked already the project setting, but this one is very important, and that's why we are here to maps and mods. And here you set your game mode. I created it right now. It has nothing in it, but you set it game mode here. Here, default map. Editor is not so important, but you can set it too. I set it just in case. This is the new one. You see, I created this one. And game default map, and that's very, very important for our release shipping. This one here. So I set this, and later if you want to, you could create later an instance. I skip this part as well. And the scale projects has no save. If you I hope you already know this. You just close it and it's saved automatically. All right, with that said, I did already my first 3, and now I can check. I said after you set your task, I said I make first the 3 task here. Let's make my super diagram again. Okay, looks like an E, but whatever. Here, this is my list, comes from here. And here was my time. This time was just, in my case, I have not set a time for that. I just said I finish it because we make a game in 2 weeks. I make it without time. If you work in groups, you probably set times. But I'm working alone, so you can see I don't need set a time. I set my time till I'm finished. That is my timeline, and here I check now if I like this. And let's see if I like this. So we have set this one, I think I like this. There is nothing to check. That was very simple. I hope you can see that. But what we can do now, after I like this, you can see the step I like this, I ship this information to my final product, right? I said, okay, you can make this, or you can go even one step further and make it later after you have finished this one as well, because then you have the whole start menu set up and ship it later with the start menu, I mean with the widget here. So I make this perhaps later, but what you can do here right now, you can make first of all a save all. Anyhow, where's save all? Here we save all, and then you can go to source control, submit content perhaps, and then you can do required, yes, edit. Also, then you can do here in this description, you can do write what you did. In my case, I write here just that what I could. Game mode. Let's write it a little bit more. Created game mode. Created game level. Created what we created else? Project setups. Project setups made, and that's it. That's enough for my. This is just for demonstration, not important. Later, if you work with anyone or for yourselves where you need more description, in general, the more you description have here, it's better, because then you know what you did. Not like me, but I want not waste too much time here because it's just a demonstration. But we make it's not only a demonstration, it's a real game which I'm going to release. So with that, it is now submitted, and I choose my next task because this one is finished. It's working, and now I said, okay, the next task is here, main menu widget. We create a main menu widget, but right now I will not create the full widgets for it. First of all, I go to my game. I say, okay, the game is all time a UI. I created already a UI folder. In UI folder, I created a special menu folder because we have different kind of menus in our game. We know this. We have a main menu. We have perhaps I don't know, option menus and so on. And if they are not in the same place, then you make them separate. In my case, I need only one, which is main menu. I created here a default one, which I am not going to use. It was just for test purposes again. Again, you can see I have already code here, which I'm not going to use in my project. But no worry, I will only migrate that what I need to my other project. But here, right click, we create now our widget. Let's do this also because I'm not... perhaps I just copy this one from the other projects, like I said, but let's see. Let's create, first of all, an empty widget that we can do. For example, here, Widget Blueprint. Yes, user widget is perfect, and let's call this one WB underscore menu. Yeah, game menu. Main menu. Let's call it main menu. Main menu means all time. It's the start point or the game menu. I call it just menu because I already have one. Then we open this one up. And now you can set up, and like I said, I will probably use the widget from here because here you can see you created here already this widget. I will probably copy this one here and change this one here in the middle, because this one I will not make again, this one I will not, and this one, because this one requires here that you have already them anywhere in your assets, or you are creating them with 3D software for like you paint them or you create them with Photoshop or something like that, GIMP or whatever you use, and that takes also time. Think about this creating these little symbols can take a lot of time as well, even if they are very little. And if you have no knowledge so much in Photoshop or something like that, then it takes even more time, because then you have probably watched an also tutorial where you can follow to how to create something like that. Keep that in mind. That takes all time. That's why I'm not going to create them from scratch. I will probably take the symbols. The only thing what I want change here is probably, I'm not sure, one of this one here perhaps, because it's then, and that's it. So in my case, I could now copy this one, but I skip this part here. I show you now. I could make this, but the problem now is here they have in this widget, he put a lot of stuff in it, and that's why I will not migrate it this way. For example, I could show you something what I normally would do. Here is his widget, right? Right click on it. You would go here to, where is it? Where is asset action here? Yeah, asset actions. Then you go here to migrate, and you can see then I have here to select what I want over from this one here, and I skip this part. I can make this offline, and that's why I create here a very simple widget for demonstration, and I make this widget part later. So with how we create a very simple widget, we have here, we go here to the left side where it says my start point. Here I add a canvas because I need just one canvas at start. That's enough. Where is the canvas? When you can't find it, just right here on top, and it pops up. Drop it here. Now we have a canvas panel, and this is the place where I put something in. They said you should not create too much canvas panels, so create one and try to avoid the other canvas panels. Yes, but one you need anyway, so I use this one here, and then the widget is almost finished. No, we should make one more thing so that we can test also code. Let's add here just for let's delete this one here. Let's open up this comment here, faster button, and this button here is just for test purposes. So this one is not finished. This is just a test purpose button, and I want to add here text in it too, and I write here on the text. So I added here a button. I get here a text in this button. And now I click this text here on the right side on details. I go to this text and call this quit, because I want just a quit button. And the reason for that is when I test this code here, sometimes I can't quit, but when you have set up a quit button so you can go out easy, that's why. And here we can go. Okay, the font now and scale, I skip all this kind of stuff. I have to search this. Right now I skip this because it's anyway. Let's set up this quit button, because this quit button is very easy. You select now the button here, and then you scroll. You have here two ways, I think. You can go here to the graph and then can go here, right click, and no, that's not. Anyway, select this button here and then go down, and here on click on press, depends on the target platform. You have to be careful. I think on mobile, if you make something, you have to use pressed. I'm not sure. You have to read the setup here again, but here I start with on click. Then all this other presets I skip, and on click I will just console command, because we quit is a console command, and this is not the right setup. Execute console command, and we write here just I don't know if it's big, but I write here quit for test purposes. Compile, save, and my widget, my test widget is set up. So this is just for testing purposes, and later I will design this, or I will just copy it and then make this. So you create later this widget, and widget is a separate task, like I said, but right now I want to make just a setup, and we can test this almost. So we go to our planning phase, very easy. You can see, oops, not this one, the other one. which is this one. It says here main menu widget, yes, but it's not finished. But okay, that's it still. I need this widget just for starting my main menu screen, and here this quit I want test. So we have to do one more step, and you can see this planning here stops here, which you can add now other steps. So which means I need now, for example, add this to Viewport and say here, for example, widget is not later, this widget, you should finish this widget or something like that. So you can add something here. You can make here another, don't worry, you can add just here where you want it. So I add it just here and say add widget, no, let's write just widget to Viewport test. We can make a test here. Yeah, widget to Viewport, that's okay. We know this is a test. And then I want more. And then I write the widget is not finished. So probably I will make this widget as a big task, because the widget itself, yeah, it has many steps. That's why we write here one more widget finishing. For example, you want finish just the widget later in a separate task, in a separate big task, probably not a small task like the other ones. You can see all the tasks what I showed you right now. These are you can set them up in some minutes, but this widget, if you make them from scratch, takes long. If you copy like me later, it's very fast as well, because I just copy it from one place, right? So then you can add this here to your task list, and then you go on, right? You can go on. So this here, the first part, I'm almost finished, not really. I have to add this to the Viewport. I think I'm finished almost. So let's add this widget to the Viewport, but here you have to decide where you want to use this. In game, you want to use the level blueprint, never use it normally. Normally you would use the game mode. Let's open up the game mode. So here's my game mode. I open up the game mode, and here I write create widget. All right, create widget, we know this. Select our created widget. In my case, I have here a scrap, and the other one I should kick out here as well. That's very important, but let's finish this one first, so that we not get irritated like I did right now. So if you have other code which is not related, then we will kick them out. So in my case, I keep them and kick them out later offline, so I don't waste your time. So under here we have created a widget, we have selected our widget, and we add them to our Viewport. This is standard procedure, right? Add to Viewport, there is it. And let's do one more step. Let's not include begin play, but this one here, a comment, and write widget add to Viewport. Okay, this is widget add to Viewport. I use this one here, nice. And here's begin play, that's okay. Then compile save, of course, then this, and yeah, we can start here already. This is the wrong one. And why is this happening? Let's see, we have here game. All right. Let me see. Why is this happening? Game mode, game. Main menu. Widget main menu. All right. Why is this not working? Game, right? This is my guess. Why is this not working? I have no clue. Map game, map game. Let's see. Details, world settings. So what I did wrong here? I messed something so simple up. That's nice. Is this possible? Normally not. But anyhow, this one is calling this one. Now I'm irritated. I mean, all right, let's check this. We can check this with a reference check if you have no idea like me. It is called from game. How the hell you are called here? Then map main menu. But map game. Here is a reference. Main menu. Where I have here a reference main menu. I have not a reference main menu here. And this one is Widget Blueprint main. Right? Compile this again. This is really interesting. Normally it should not make something like that. I'm surprised why this one is still referencing this one here. Okay, I have an idea. Let's kick this out and see what happens. Yeah, let's kick this out. Or let's see, main menu. Or let's replace this here. I don't get this. Okay. I was late. Replace references. Okay, here you are. And let's, okay, save selected. And let's go. All right, now it works, but I don't know why this so happened. Normally, perhaps I have not switched. No, it's not possible. I have set here game mode. I don't know what this was, but now it works. All right, so this is the normal workflow. Here's my quit where I can go out. And yes, you see, you should not have code like me, which is irritating. And because that we can do something like this. We can go to source code through submit, and you can add what you did here. For example, I skip this part. I write here just created widget and add it to Viewport. In game menu, in game mode, game mode. Now let's write game submit. All right. So I have this one too, and the last step what I do here is one more step, which is, like I said, I choose now that what I need for my final product. And what I'm doing is now this UI folder, main menu here. The other one is kicked out. Very nice. Textures, no. Save game, no. Level, map game. This was that what I made, right? Map game, yeah. Perhaps I was there in another map. Anyway, the other ones I don't need, which means I should kick them out as well here later. Here's my game mode. So, and now I select this one here, or I kick the other ones out because probably I need this. So what I do here is I kick literally the other things out what I don't need. I delete them by save game. Right now I don't need it. I delete them. And then, what is that? I don't know. Level, borders. Ah, yeah, I have borders. Right now I don't need borders. Let's delete them too. That was all thing for testing, which I did before. And you can see here are all the things what I have now. These are the free assets which we created. And normally I should submit this again, but I skipped the submit right now because that was just kick out things. And now what I can do is just click here and go, can I make here asset actions? I don't know if I can. Can all select this and asset action. Was this here? This spikes asset selection? Not here. All right, perhaps I have to migrate them one by one. But I think there is another way where you can migrate many things together. but I don't know where. Here, migrate. And there was it. I was just blind like all time. It's late. So I have here my game. Yes, I want to take this all kind of stuff. You can see normally you can select here also, for example, if I had this all other files here, but then I have all time to unselect this, and that's why I have kicked them out, because I don't need them anyway. And okay, and then here in my other monitor I select now, go to my other folder, which is in my documents, in my Unreal Engine projects, and I called the other one just mobile game. Important is when you migrate all time. For example, I have here this Unreal project. My was what was it, a mobile game main, this one. Important is you have to migrate it in this content folder. That's very important, here in this content. And then you can go here and this one, and you can see this one is migrated, and that's my final project folder. And this one you have to check out later too, but this final project folder you should check out for tests. So normally what you have to do now is, here the first step I finished, not this one. This one here, the first block I finished, but I have not finished the widget, of course. This one I have finished too, but not this widget finishing. So there is a lot of work. Here this list would go on and go on until you are finished. And important is now to test that what you have in your final product, which means this one here, like I said, here you develop it, and still you should here clean it all up too, but still this is just yeah, for things what can happen. Let's say so some people use, for example, built-in plugins to make automations, and what they use some kind of editors to make it more convenient, more faster, more efficient. But all this kind of stuff you don't want to have in your final product, and that's why I make this way here. Of course, I have not set up all these nice convenient plugins where you can work faster or so on, but this way is just to show you that you can work like this also as a starter. It works. You don't have to do this step to make up a separate project folder. I make it because I know it is clean, and there I have to test it, because my final test, of course you can test it here too, like I did. Yes, it starts, it works, I quit. That was the setup which I have. Later I make them finish the widget menu here, and then I go to the next part, which is gameplay. So I think that was already a long video, but you see it's not too difficult, very simple. Actually, I take it very simple. It's not really simple. What I mean with it's not simple, like I said, I skip all the creative content, which will take much time if I would include them, but I will skip this and make the core system. And after that, like I said, then I can add them if I have time. And yeah, then I will see what happens. But the first phase is just finish core system. With that said, I stop this video here, and in the next video we will continue. I will continue to set up this widget probably, because like I said, a widget takes a little bit more time normally, but I will just copy a little bit and then set up the functionality. And then I'm finished with my block 1 already. This is the start setup, and then I go to the gameplay, and then so on and so on. And you see, don't worry, you will not have all parts ready. I mean, you will not know exactly all parts. Probably you know it if you have experience, which means if you have already created other projects, then you know what you want to do, or you have analyzed other projects, then you know also what you do. And if you have no clue, there is one more tip what I can give you for absolute starters. Just watch other free games and show how they have built up their game. So analyze just other games. They have most time just so basics are, they have a start screen, main menu, then they have the gameplay, and so on. You know what I mean. Just try to analyze already finished games, then you can follow their steps and try to do this as well. Okay, with that said, I stop this video here. If you have any questions or any complaints, like old-time tips and tricks as well, write them in the comments, and see us in the next video. And like old time, don't give up, have fun, and bye.